Happy New Year, everybody. You're with the Arty Mummy, and it is a wonderful start to the new year, the 1st of January. I'm looking forward to seeing all of you and your lovely comments, and looking forward to a brand new year with all new possibilities. And to begin with, I'm going to put together a series of drawing tutorials, and I know it's not my usual go-to. I paint as a rule, but before I ever painted, I drew for many years before I ever picked a paintbrush up. And I think it's really important to have some drawing fundamentals behind your painting, to know the bones of it, the rules that apply to both drawing and painting and any kind of art, in fact. So lesson 1, the very beginning. So if you want to learn to draw, or if you just want to brush up your skills a little bit, this one is for you. Now, I have intentionally used a very ordinary paper and a good old school pencil in ordinary HB. I also have, what do I have here? A 6B, to just give you an idea of how it can really improve your art to have at least one or two other darker pencils or softer pencils to work with, and that can really improve your art as well. So first thing first, there's really no right or wrong way to hold your pencil, or your paintbrush for that matter. So same applies. You can hold it fully at arm's length, you can hold it short and up close, although not as recommended. Holding it out at the end, in the middle. You can turn your hand over to get a much more angled stroke, and you can even sort of hold it like this, especially if you're working on an easel. That can be really useful. So when I'm drawing, I try to not so much use my hand like so, unless I'm doing some very fine detailed work that I really want to get right into the tiny little pieces. Most of the time you'll be wanting to go from your shoulder, your elbow, and that just gives you a nice flow across your paper, without being sort of jagged. Here, I'll show you what I mean. So for a start, we want to try and draw a line from A to B. Now, we get all these people all the time that say, oh, I can't even draw a straight line. Well, it takes practice. So, having been quite a while since I practiced, this might be interesting. So, moving from our shoulder, we go straight across, and do that 20 or 30 times. And try and do this little exercise every day, and the more you practice, the better and better you'll get at it. Right, so you can see that I am way off, but as I go even just down this little set of lines, I'm getting more and more accurate. Now, I'm not really at a good position to the table too, because I can't move my paper because of my camera. But there we have it. So that's a nice little practice for your accuracy, and just practicing moving from your shoulder to get you your nice even lines. And try and make sure that with your practicing that you've got even pressure from end to end, so that your line is nice and smooth all the way along. Right. Now, the purpose of holding your pencil in different ways is that you can make so many different marks. So if you're hatching, right, so here I'm using my wrist, not my fingers, because you don't get very good even marks using your fingers. You just don't have the kind of control that you do with your wrist. So just holding the pencil about midway, You can get nice hatching and build your shading by going in different directions, mostly using your wrist. Again, practice, 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 and practice some more. Holding your pencil over the top like this, you can make very lovely gestural marks. Go softly and build up. And these ones, with your normal eraser, will come up very, very easily compared to the sharp tip of your pencil, which will make more of an indent on your paper. So for your initial sketching, get rid of that altogether. So for your initial sketching, I like to hold my pencil loose and get all my lovely gestural marks. And have them work. And then you can come back later and tidy them up. And then when you want to start getting some detail, you can come in a little bit closer and use your point a little bit more. And that way your lighter marks that you put down first, your lovely big gestural marks, they're a lot easier to tidy up. And get things looking how you want them to look. Okay. So the over the top method is also good if you want to get some nice lovely big curves. It allows you a lot more movement from your shoulder and your elbow, especially if you're working on a larger area, to get nice big curves and things. Also this way. This is my preferred way, is just to lay it comfortably in my hand and just use my wrist or my elbow and shoulder. So another good little practice, wavy lines. Again, start from point A, go to point B, make yourself a bunch. And these can actually be a little bit challenging because you want to try for evenness. Following your top line. And again, not using your fingers, working with your elbow and your shoulder to get that nice flowy lines. All sorts of different marks, just doodle and play. So, spirals. What you're looking for is pencil control, so that you're making, after some time and daily practice, you end up with something that looks very uniform when you're done. So filling up a whole page with marks like this, you can go in and doodle and play with your pencils later and make them interesting, colour them in, put fun little things in between. Do a very stylised ocean kind of thing, so it doesn't have to be totally about you've got to do this hard practice that's really boring. No, we want you to have fun with it and enjoy it and be creative and always just go with whatever feels good. As long as you've got that pencil in your hand every single day and you're practicing your mark making, your art will improve. So this is a really nice start. We're really looking at getting just control, and it might seem a little bit silly at first, but this kind of practice is very productive way to improve your art fairly quickly if you just do it every single day. So there we have that little one. The other thing I'd like you to practice doing is just making different types of mark with the one pencil. So again, we had the hatching over here. Try laying it on its side and do some shading. And again, this is really important for your control. Try and make a square that's all the one tone. And then try and make a square that is going from dark to light. So that it does that evenly. See how there's no real sort of, so you don't want it to be doing this. You're trying to make, even if you need to sketch out your squares, do a whole page full of them and just practice getting them shaded evenly all the way along. Then you might try let's go lighter. I'm going to be trying not to get those hard lines in there, because if you want to draw realism or faces or anything like that, you don't want to have any really hard lines in there. You want to have your shading all nice and even and soft. You can try getting it a bit darker. Now, it's not terribly easy with this one because this pencil, it's about as dark as it goes. So when we reach this point, that we want to get it darker and the pencil doesn't want to do it, we definitely don't want to be doing this one. Because what happens is you're burnishing your page and you're going to make shiny patches and you're not going to be able to get any more colour onto that area or anything. It's just not very good. Go out and invest in a basic set of even 3 pencils, 5 at least if you can. Don't make it too complicated. You don't need 120 different pencils. Just a good range of hard to soft pencils. And very lightly and very easily I can get that same darkness and depth of tone as pressing really hard with the HB. And the marks with this are going to be a lot darker just naturally. So, and that also goes with your hatching. And also with your gestural marks. Oh, where are we going? Just learning to get a nice curve, learning to make a wavy line, learning to make a straight line, a little bit of hatching, a little bit of shading. Just having a little 5 to 10 minute daily practice of these kind of exercises will massively improve your art in a very short amount of time. So I'm going to leave it at that for today. I hope you all enjoyed this video, and I will see you very soon with another. Happy drawing, guys. Have a great day. Happy New Year.